into the next life with Drew
Drew.
and me. Okay, welcome to the Drew and Me podcast, where we talk about music, movies, and whatever else we want to talk about, and we sometimes do sketches. Oh my goodness. Okay, and today we are joined by Lindsey Richter
Woo.
of Survivor Africa fame, one of the best seasons of Survivor. If you haven't checked it out, please check it out on any streaming service. It's on Amazon, it's on Hulu, it's on Paramount Plus. You can check it out anywhere. So readily available. Survivor's awesome. Changed the game of reality TV. Oh my goodness, Survivor's great. But also, Lindsey is an entrepreneur and avid bike rider, and she runs a company called Ladies All Ride.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Are there any events coming up for Ladies All Ride that you'd like to promote?
Yes, well, most of our events are sold out, which is very exciting.
That's awesome. That's
yeah, cool. we open all of our mountain bike skills camps in January, and they tend to fill up by February. So our next stop, I just got back from Marquette, Michigan and Copper Harbor, Michigan, and I will be heading to Vermont in a couple weeks. Yeah, we travel all over the country teaching women how to mountain bike. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah. For mountain biking, is there any type of gear or clothing that you recommend for ease of ride and also for style? No.
Right, style. Yeah, well, I like a company called Sombrio mountain bike clothes. I like to wear baggy shorts when I mountain bike. I don't like to wear tight spandex. Tight spandex are a little more for road riders and racing. So I wear Sombrio baggy shorts, and they're also very stylish. So I really like that about the brand. And then, of course, we have our own merchandise at ladiesallride.com. Oh, am I frozen?
Oh, no, you're fine. I know you're fine.
Yeah, at ladiesallride.com, we have our own merchandise, really cool hoodies and hats and shirts and tank tops and really cool stuff that have mountain biking all over it. And our tagline is "Ride bikes, be happy."
Ride bikes, be happy. Very cool. Was on the merchandise site yesterday. Those light blue hoodies look amazing.
Yeah, they're super cute and they're nice and thin, so they're good for summer.
It's really cool. Cool. So you mentioned you guys do programs in Vermont.
Yeah.
A lot of good mountains. A lot of good mountains in Oregon too. In terms of skiing, how would you approach a black diamond or a double black diamond?
Oh, I would jump on in. I love skiing. Yeah, I live in Colorado in the winters because it has steeper mountains for skiing and it's all black and double black terrain. So I really enjoy black and double black. On a mountain bike, I don't always ride the double blacks because sometimes they're a little over my head and I don't want to hurt myself, but I will definitely dive into any black diamond trail on a bike as well. Black diamonds are a girl's best friend. You like that?
Oh boy. Right. That's cool. Yeah, for me skiing, haven't mastered the hockey stop yet. Still kind of kind of work on that. And I haven't been skiing a ton, but I think when I did go skiing, like my skis were too long, so they're kind of harder to maneuver. So I think if I had shorter skis, I probably would have had more control. I've heard that the best approach to a black diamond, or a safe approach, is to grind heavily. Just kind of left to right, just to make sure that you create good tension and you have good stability. But I guess it depends on personal preference.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. Do you want to elaborate why black diamonds are a girl's best friend?
Oh, because I'm all about challenges. I think that it's really important as adults to challenge ourselves. And I
Mm,
just see a lot of women coming up in these sports, mountain biking and snowboarding and skiing, and kind of pushing the limits that women used to have on themselves. And so I like to say black diamonds are a girl's best friend, because that means you're pushing yourself and you're stepping it up a notch and you're challenging yourself. I feel like as humans, we're constantly faced with challenges in life. And if we can create challenges for ourselves that we enjoy, that push us, it helps us with life, with life's challenges. Because when you're used to being challenged and you're used to pushing yourself beyond limits, then life's challenges don't seem as heavy.
um, yeah. um, you have a point. When you push limits or you go beyond like your plateau, then you keep going and you get to another plateau. So that's just how it works. You just keep growing. But I think that's great. Have you thought about branching out to skiing too? Like doing
I
skiing
grew
clinics?
up skiing. Oh
Cool.
yeah, skiing clinics. No, that's pretty hard to get into because of the mountains and their restrictions on coaching.
Okay,
We came up with the name of a company. We called it Ladies All Slide,
that's
because you
really good.
slide on snow. So
Yeah.
Ladies All Slide. Um, yeah, but no, we don't. I need to take a break in the winter and just enjoy skiing and snowboarding and not ride my bike for a little while.
Mm, that's totally cool, dude. Um, mm, um, yeah, man. So if you can stomach a few survivor questions, it's
For
really cool.
sure.
Okay. Um, from your season, Survivor Africa, what was your favorite challenge?
You know, that's the funny thing about Survivor for me, was that I went on as a mountain biker and as an athlete, and I thought that the show was really focused on athletes and challenges. So I was really excited to perform athletically, and was actually fairly disappointed that I didn't make it further, because I wish that I would have been able to perform in some of those individual challenges.
Oh yeah.
But the challenges I did get to perform in, um, I really loved one time we had an obstacle course we had to run through, and we had to climb up a rope and climb over a net and just like collect things. It's very vague because it was like 20 years ago, but I really enjoyed the more physical ones where you had to keep moving. One challenge, we had to carry all these big logs and pile them up to the top. And I remember yelling at my teammates, keep running, because I wanted to keep moving and no one else wanted to keep running. So I enjoyed those kinds of physical challenges a lot.
Yeah. Um, um, yeah, from watching the show, you seem to excel at the challenges. And you know, on Survivor, you get voted off when you get voted off. It's just kind of something that happens. And sometimes it's not even in your power. Like
Yeah.
sometimes like the power is literally taken away from you. So it's situations and everything. I guess like judging off that, what did you think of the twist in your season of people from your tribe going to Braun and people from Braun coming to Samburu? Because Kelly, Tom, and
Lex.
Lex came over to your tribe, and Frank, who I no, like I think now you and Frank, you could be friends. Like I know that you had your differences on your show on the show, but I feel like you
For
pushed each
sure.
other. And honestly, in watching the footage and in watching like the distress signal challenge, you guys actually kind of worked well together, and I felt like you helped to push each other. Like I actually thought your and Frank's relationship was okay. Like I honestly wasn't there, so I don't know, but um like I thought it was kind of parental. So
Totally.
um yeah.
Yeah,
Uh
that switch was gnarly. That was the demise of me. That's the reason I got voted off, was because of that tribe switch. Because I had had votes against me when Frank and I were butting heads, and all the older people wanted to get me out. It's funny that I say older people because they're probably the age I am now. So that's a little odd to say they're older because I don't feel old at all. Um, so yeah, that tribe switch was the death of me, which was a super bummer because they found out I had votes against me and I was an easy target, even though it was another tie. Bummer. Yeah. I kept having these dramatic tribal councils where I almost didn't get voted out and then I did. So that sucked. And I was pretty mad at Lex because he was kind of the mastermind behind that. And then Lex and I became really good friends after the show.
That's awesome.
I was able to tell him that I was mad at him for voting me out and he apologized. But with Frank, Frank and I just kind of butted heads because he was a bit of a drill sergeant. But I think when Frank saw me perform athletically, that maybe he had a different respect for me. That challenge when we had to do the SOS, I don't know if you remember, but I got really sick because I dehydrated.
Yeah.
And Frank made a comment, Barbie goes down in Africa. Right. And I thought that was pretty interesting because I'm a pretty tough girl who likes playing in the dirt and I don't really care about looks or dressing up. So it was kind of funny that he would refer to me as Barbie because I was tougher than most women on the show, I would think, especially now as a 46-year-old mountain bike professional. I am not a Barbie per se. So that was kind of funny and that kind of upset me. But later on, when Frank and I traveled together to do events, we totally became friends.
So cool.
And then we had a reunion show recently where we all talked like last year. And he's fine. Yeah, it was very parental. And I am kind of a child still. So maybe I needed parenting more than I knew.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh yeah. Do you still keep up with Kim Powers? Like at the time of the show, she was in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania. That's right where I live. It's like 25 minutes away from where I live in Conshohocken.
Oh,
So
wow.
I live in Chester County, but Kim's from Conshohocken,
Okay.
so that's like a huge deal. Like so.
Yeah, no, we don't keep in touch. She's one of those Survivor contestants who fully disappeared. She
Oh,
just pieced out. I never saw her again.
okay.
We were in LA for a little while together and we would see each other in LA occasionally after the show, but then she just disappeared. She doesn't do interviews. She doesn't do any reunion stuff. She totally has nothing to do with Survivor anymore and doesn't talk to anyone, I've heard.
That's interesting because her and Alex Beller, they still
I
married?
think they're still together. Yeah. I don't know, but I think so. I think they
And they're
adopted a
Survivor
kid.
couples. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I think they stayed together.
Yeah, that's awesome. I have a theory that Kelly Goldschmidt was from your season, was the mastermind behind that match, because I know she casted Alex Bell for Survivor Amazon. So I wonder if she was the one who introduced them.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, we all did a bunch of events together after the show with other Survivor people. So we met a lot of Survivor people that way. That's how I met Gabriel. I think
Oh, he's
Gabriel was on
awesome.
Marquesas, and he
He's so
became a
cool.
really good friend of mine. He was actually in my wedding when I got married and read a poem in my wedding because we got that close, because he's such a really good human.
Yeah, he was one of the more popular people on his season.
Yeah,
Like,
he was a nice guy.
yeah, it was before they did the popularity votes, but he probably would have been high on the list.
Totally.
Uh, and his answer that he just enjoyed the experience of the show was like really refreshing. Like, obviously, it probably depended on the day. Like, one day you feel like, oh, it's the experience, another day you feel like it's something else. But maybe part of it was that Pascal and Nalia went to the other tribe, and he was really tight with Pascal, so that could have been part of it. But yeah, he was pretty row too strong. But I guess Johnny Pots and Pans also got rid of him because he saw him as a threat. Because Gabe could have potentially won. He could have won that season.
Totally. He definitely could have.
Yeah. No, and he's a survivor. People don't talk too much about it anymore, but he was a really good one. I remember originally watching the show. Me and my dad, he was one of our favorites. So
Yeah, he's the easy one to have as a favorite. He's a nice guy.
yeah. Um yeah, that's really cool. So getting back to the challenges, it was cool to talk to you about the obstacle course, because the challenges have changed a lot, and now they do like a puzzle element kind of attached to every challenge. It's kind of the second half or the beginning, but no, like the obstacle course has always looked pretty demanding, so that was really interesting to hear your insights about that. I guess for Ladies All Ride, for some of the courses, you guys probably have some obstacles, or are they built in, or do you guys have some obstacles that you create?
We have to bring obstacles. We bring like cones that they have to do stuff through, and then we bring boxes that they have to jump off of and learn to get up onto. So we do bring some of our own stuff to create mountain biking obstacle courses. But a lot of times at the places that we run our camps, they already have stuff there for us to use, like drops and jumps and rocks to get up and over, because we're really teaching people how to handle their bikes in technical terrain.
That's
So
awesome.
it's very much like a Survivor challenge. They have
Right.
to do these obstacle courses and learn how to do everything. And it's pretty funny. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Um,
Challenges
that's
on bikes.
that's so cool. Um, uh, are camps rain or shine events?
Yes, most of the time.
All right.
Depends. Like we did have a hurricane in North Carolina, so we had to cancel it for the hurricane. Um, but for the most part, yeah, we do it rain or shine. Mountain biking's an outdoor sport, and you got to do it in the rain sometimes. Just the
Um,
way it goes.
right. Boy. um, that's totally cool. I think it's awesome you guys do it. Are there certain tires that you recommend? Like, are there special tires for rain or snow?
Yeah, there's special tires for rain, for muddy conditions and dry conditions. The muddy ones are going to have bigger knobs on them so they get good grip. And then the dry tires don't have as big of knobs. And then I don't really ride in the snow much, but they do have tires that have spikes in them for people who ride in the snow. So those would be spiked tires.
Cool, man. That's really cool. I did not know that. So, okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Oh boy. How do you hydrate during a long ride?
I drink a lot of water.
Okay.
We have a pack that we carry on our back with a hose, so I can just drink water as I go. I also put electrolytes sometimes in a water bottle in a cage in my bike, just to make sure I'm not depleting my electrolyte levels.
Very cool. Yeah, that's super important. That's awesome that you do that. That's really cool. Yeah. Let's see. So getting back to Survivor, just one more Survivor question. How did you gear up for the calf's blood challenge where you guys had to drink the calf's blood? Because you did it really well on the show. Like you downed it pretty easily. And I forget who you were going up against, but I think you did it faster than they did it. So it might have been Kim J, but I think you did it faster than they did it.
Well, I was pretty fresh out of college at that point in my life. 25 years old. I knew how to put a shot down. So I've never been a big alcohol drinker. So in college, when I would do shots, I would really just try to get them down as quick as possible. So I just sort of treated the cow's blood like a shot of alcohol, just get it down as quick as you could. And honestly, we were so hungry and depleted that it tasted fine. I mean, they did dilute it with a little milk, but it literally tasted fine. And then it gave us energy because we needed the energy. And that's what the Maasai used it for. They used the cow blood to give them energy and nutrients. So it was actually good for us.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a good way to think about it. And they do drink blood in Africa. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. Right out of the cow. Not many people can say they've done that.
No, man. Okay. Yeah, dude. That's that's really awesome. Yeah, um let's see. So honestly, like compared to the other seasons too, like you guys had really hard conditions and there were a lot of things about your season that were really difficult, and it wasn't an island season. Like you guys were literally out in the desert and the heat must have been devastating. Conditions really hard. A lot of people got really sick on your season, including Lex. He had a lot of he had a lot of he had a lot of yeah, I know from watching the Where Are They Now. He had a lot of parasites in his system, a lot. Did you have any parasites when you came back?
I did not.
That's awesome.
I did not, but I got sick out there. Like when I got voted off, I was traveling and I got super sick while traveling, and CBS, the TV network, had to fly me in a helicopter to a small like a little hospital where I was like stepping over chickens and goats in the dirt to get in to see the doctor. And they pulled out a needle, and the survivor doctor like made sure the needle came out of a package, and they tested my blood and said that I had malaria. So then I had to get on an airplane and fly to Nairobi and be hospitalized. And it wasn't malaria. I just had a gastrointestinal thing where I was throwing up constantly. But
Awful.
I had to be in the hospital for a night when I got voted off. And they wouldn't let me call my family. They wouldn't let me tell anyone that I was in the hospital. It was kind of scary.
Oh man. Yeah, sorry that happened. Like I'm really sorry that happened, but I guess the conditions were really intense. But uh um I'm glad that you and everyone on your season is fine now, and that's like terrific. Because I gotta say, on Baran, I was getting pretty worried about Jessie. Like she looked really sick.
Yeah, she did.
Um, but she's okay. And good character builder. She was a sheriff's deputy on the show, so that's good. And cops typically do really well in Survivor. So cops are good fits for Survivor, and it toughens you up. Like it's risky, and I'm glad they've never done another season in Africa because I really don't think they should go back to Africa. Like way too dangerous. Dangerous conditions and the animals. Braun had a lot of animal problems at their camp with the lions and water buffalo. Did you guys have the same issues at Samburu that didn't show up on camera?
No, we didn't really have any animals come close to us. They were closer to a bigger watering hole than us. We
Okay,
just had like a little dribble. We could
right.
hear them at night. We could hear the lions roaring at night, and that was pretty cool. And then there were some footprints outside of our boma in the mornings. We would see footprints that were pretty big, like the size of our hands. But really, the only time I saw lions was when we were driving to challenges in the Jeeps that they provided us. They would come and pick us up in Jeeps and drive us to the challenges. And a few times on the drive, we saw a bunch of lions right by the car, and we were in the car. So it was pretty cool. But many people might not know that they pick us up and drive us to challenges and to tribal council and only make us hike in like 5 seconds to make it look like we hiked there.
Yeah, I wish they would show the travel a little bit more.
Yeah, they didn't want you to know that we were being
Yeah,
driven around.
yeah. And I think it's just important for everyone to know that tribal councils take a very long time. So okay,
Oh my gosh, a really long time.
Yeah. And it's a set too. It's a set they build. So just for everyone at home who's thinking, oh, it's actually no, it's not actually there. So okay, okay. Yeah. But it's cool, and tribal council is one of the most popular elements of Survivor, and it's cool. Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay, so that concludes the Survivor section. Because oh my. Okay, okay. um, 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 uh, for bike riding, do you listen to music while you ride?
I do not listen to music while I ride. I actually really enjoy listening to my breath and like being in the moment and being in nature. I like being in the quiet. I'm a pretty loud person and I tend to talk a lot. And I feel like mountain biking is my time to just kind of be quiet and enjoy what my body is capable of riding bikes. And the places that I get to see on my bike are really beautiful. So I really like to be in the moment and pay attention to what's going on around me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool, Lindsay. That's so cool. Okay.
Thanks.
Um, I get a similar effect from going kayaking.
Nice. Where do you kayak?
I've kayaked in Wisconsin in the Lake Mendota, Lake Winona rivers, and I've kayaked
Yeah.
in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, where I live. They have some good kayaking near us, and it's fun. And you get in tune with the river, you get in tune with the sound. Yeah, you can kind of lose yourself and just kind of connect to like to nature and the things that are around you. And I totally get that from mountain biking, how you can kind of like tune into your environment and like the things that are going on around you. And it's really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Um, uh, yeah, dude. Is there a type of bike? Is there a bike model that you really like?
Yeah, I ride Live bikes. That's the brand name is called Live, and they are the sister company of a company called Giant Bicycles. So we're sponsored by a bike company. So they send me bikes and we have demo bikes. So people who are just getting into mountain biking can try our bikes. So it's really cool. It's really cool to be sponsored by a brand that's all built by women. This mountain bike company is built by women. So it's really cool.
Um, yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Uh, that is really cool, actually. Okay. Okay. um, yeah, man. Yeah. Uh, all right. So when you're riding, let's see, you said you do water and some electrolytes. Um, do you do trail mix? I've seen on your Instagram you eating Nutri-Grain bars or something like
Picky
Nutri-Grain bars.
bars.
Okay.
Yeah. They're called Picky Bars. And it's exciting because it's a local company out of Bend, but they're nationwide. And they actually just got bought by Laird Hamilton, who's a pro surfer. And I got to be on a wrapper of one of the bars. It's really cool.
That's awesome, Lindsay.
Yeah. Who can say they're on a bar wrapper?
I
I
know, right?
can. Which is really exciting for me. I'm on a bar wrapper.
um, that's really cool. Yeah, dude. Do you think that in terms of like, you know, trail snacks or like snacks that you have while you're on the go, do you think jerky should be added to trail mix?
That's a good question. Um, well, I've been eating vegan lately,
Okay.
so not really eating any meat. But I used to eat jerky a lot. And I know a lot of people who actually do ride their bikes with jerky or meat sticks for that instant protein. Um, but yeah, I think jerky's fine for people who like it, but I just don't eat jerky much anymore because I stopped eating meat just like 2 years ago.
What? um, yeah, um, that's cool. Do they have, I know they have Beyond Burgers. Do they have Beyond Jerky?
Oh, they do actually. They have lots of vegan jerky, like mushroom jerky and soy-based jerky. It's kind of funny. It tastes a little weird, um, but they've definitely tried to do non-meat jerky. It's funny. I also really like Impossible Burgers. Those are good fake burgers that are made
Yeah,
with plant.
yeah, it's really cool, dude. Um, the um, yeah, and sometimes in the Possible Burgers, you'll get like, um, they'll probably do mushrooms, right?
Yeah, totally. I
Cool.
love mushroom burgers. Just like portobello mushroom burgers are really good. They can soak them in A1 steak sauce, so they totally taste like steak.
Um, mm, mm, um, yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, like personal thoughts on whether they should add jerky to trail mix. I think in a in like a reduced like it should be like the marshmallows in Lucky Charms, like how most of it is like the other stuff, and then there's just a little piece of something else in there, just kind of something a little bit different, that savory and saltiness. You're talking about the mushroom jerky. Do you get savory and saltiness from the mushroom jerky? Like, does it have that kind of savory flavor that you get with regular jerky?
Yeah, it does. It definitely has like a salty flavor. It there are a few vegan jerkies that are surprisingly similar to regular jerky, and I think that's what attracts people to jerky is the saltiness.
Mm,
So all the imitation ones tend to be salty as well.
uh, mm, um, that's really cool. Yeah, so let's get some new jerkies. If you're listening or watching, if there's any junior jerky spokesman out there, or creators, like come up with a new type of jerky. And like you can like chew on it, and like just kind of having something like to chew on can be really therapeutic, especially if you like um yeah, like if you don't want to chew gum, like then like do you chew gum when you
I
ride?
don't. I
Okay.
don't know. I used to be a big gum chewer, but I stopped.
Mm, yeah. No, I could see the real appeal of eating jerky during a ride.
Totally.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's see. So we are running low on time. Would you like to do a sketch? Sometimes on Drew and me, we do sketches. Yeah. Would you like to do a sketch?
Yeah.
Okay. I sent you one, and there was another one. Um, uh, but I didn't send it to you. But are you okay with doing the sketch I sent you? Is that okay?
Yeah. Let me
Okay.
see. Where is it? Does
Um,
anyone have to go to the bathroom?
that's it. Yep. Um, uh, I'll, um, I can share my screen. Here we go. Let's see. Um, all right. Awesome. Oh my goodness, Drew. Okay? Here we go. All right. Um, which character would you like to play? Would you like to play announcer or camp counselor?
Camp counselor.
Okay. Does anyone have to use the bathroom at an IMAX theater? Lin-Manuel Miranda is chaperoning a field trip of students watching a film about tree growth, the story of redwoods, so big, at an IMAX theater. um, the theater announcer announces that the film is about to start and no one can leave the theater. Kids, take your seats and prepare to be restrained for the entirety of the film, and no leaving the theater. Kids begin to take their seats, looking engrossed and locked into the movie. As the film is about to start, Lin-Manuel Miranda, the camp counselor, comes out and says, "Does anyone have to use the bathroom?"
Does anyone have to use the bathroom?
Or Mr. Miranda, I remind you that the doors are locked. That ship has sailed. The kids may not leave the theater.
I understand that, but that does not address the issue. Does anyone have to use the bathroom?
This action is now prohibited. The kids are not permitted to leave the theater.
Okay, understood, but I'm trying to save you potential cleaning bills, so
We have rules for a reason, and we all must abide by them.
we have rules. You know what I think of your rules? They're great. No, just kidding. They're terrible. And you know what? It's toilet time. Grabs the toilet from the outside of the theater and brings it into the seat. See? Now everyone's happy.
No. That was cool. Let's see. Do you want to do another sketch, or are you good?
I'm good. I don't have a ton of time left. I've got
That's
another thing going on at 12:30.
that's totally cool, Lindsay. I appreciate you being able to accommodate me today. Thank you very much. I appreciate that so much.
For sure.
Um, let's see. Ooh. Um, yep. Okay. All right. Well, cool. Let's see. So I also did want to briefly talk about the movie Breaking Away.
Yeah.
Love that movie so much. So Breaking Away came out, I think, late 70s, maybe, or I think early 80s. Dennis Quaid, Jackie Earle Haley, Daniel Stern. Yeah. Great actors, great movie about biking and bike racing, and there aren't a lot of great bike racing movies out there. So if you guys are interested in watching a movie about bike racing, this is a good one. It's good coming of age, it's good adolescence, it's good kind of branching out and discovering what you like. Some of the messages are kind of problematic, but at the same time, I really like the movie, and I really like Jackie Earle Haley. He's really endearing, and he lights up the screen, and he's really fun to watch. Do you have any big takeaways from Breaking Away?
Oh, I think that it's just a good movie about finding a passion, finding something that you're passionate about that drives you to push yourself beyond limits, which is kind of what I do teaching women how to mountain bike, helping them use sport to see what they're capable of. And I think Breaking Away has a lot to do with that, channeling our energy into something passionate and powerful that helps our mind, bodies, and our spirits get stronger, because the movie was really all about how sport can help change lives, how it helped change his life. It gave him a focus and something to work towards, even if you're not winning. Just the process of working hard for something and giving something your best, giving it your all. I think more people need to be in that mindset and challenge themselves in ways like he did in the movie.
That is kind of a good point, and he does have a really interesting arc too.
What messages did you find problematic?
That you like that you don't necessarily have to or I don't know, the competition between like the townies and the people at college, and also that you don't have to go to college because from suburbia, the mentality is you have to go to college. Like that's very suburbia. That's very where I grew up. Like after high school, it's college. So
Totally, same.
to me, that's kind of a norm. Yeah, I went to McDaniel College in Central Maryland. Where did you go to school?
University of Arizona in Tucson, Arizona.
Good school.
Yeah.
very good school, actually. Okay. Um, yeah, man. So no, it's just kind of different than what I kind of grew up with, and um, yeah. Also, like how the kids in the movie kind of treated jobs, and they didn't value them or take them seriously, and like some of them got like take like if I can implore a message to kids, take your job really seriously, and um remember how valuable it is to the future, and employers talk to each other. So it's the kind of thing is like it can come back to haunt you, and also it helps toughen you for the future. So take your jobs really seriously and care about them, and don't shortchange it because it's really important. So
Totally.
um yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that, but uh yeah um outside of that, it's really cool, and it kind of gets really into Italian culture. There's a lot of Italian opera music and stuff playing in the movie, just really cool. So okay. So yeah, I know you don't listen to music when you ride, Lindsay, but maybe listen to opera music, maybe Andrea Bocelli,
Oh
get that
yeah,
going.
I love him.
Oh, he's so cool. Yeah,
He's so good.
absolutely. No, it's just been fun. This has been the Drew and Me podcast. Before we sign off, Lindsay, is there anything else that you'd like to address to the listeners and the viewers of the podcast?
No, I mean, just thanks for listening. If anybody out there wants to learn how to mountain bike, I know the place to go, ladiesallride.com. And if men want to learn to mountain bike or want to improve their mountain bike skills, we also have a company called gritclinics.com. And that's where we do private lessons all over the country for men and women. Our Ladies All Ride events are just for women, and they're all over the country. And then our Grit Clinics are private lessons for men and women. And follow us on Instagram at Ladies All Ride. I put a lot of like mountain biking videos of how to do things, and mountain biking inspiration to inspire people to see how mountain biking and sports can relate to life.
Mm. Um, um, yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I, I think mountain biking is a great outlet. I think it's a great way to get physical activity. I think it's a great way to push yourself and to push your limits and to strengthen your body. So there are a lot of positive things. And if you're at a camp, you're part of a team. It's about teamwork too, and I think that's really important. How young can kids get started at Ladies All Ride, Lindsay?
Well, we also have a Girls All Ride program. So we have young girls 9 to 17, and then our Ladies All Ride camps are 18 and over. And we actually attract a lot of older women. We attract 40s, 50s, and 60s. It's pretty interesting. We do get 20s and 30s coming, but I'd say the majority are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Boy, um, that's really cool. Um, that's awesome that you guys get such a wide range. And the male clinic, that's called Grit Clinics, right?
Yes.
Okay. Ladies All Right and Grit Clinics. Check it out, guys. um, um, uh, um, yeah. Thank you guys for watching and listening. And Lindsay, thank you very much for being a guest on the show. This was really cool.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.